Hi, thanks for coming to another makeup video. I'm still getting used to not being awkward on camera. So I'm gonna start off with the NYX base spray. Let that dry a little. And then I'm gonna be mixing Smashbox with Wet n Wild, just because I did get like a little bit more tan a few months ago. So that's why I bought this one, and this one was way too late for me. But if I mix them now, all good. Yeah, gotta wait for that spray to dry a little bit. I use a brush for my foundation. I like switching between brushes and beauty blenders, but lately I've been using a brush. So what I'll do, sometimes I put on the brush, sometimes I put on my face. But today I'm just gonna a little bit on the brush. I usually prefer putting it on my face, that way no product gets like just chilling in the brush, being wasted. And then I'm kind of gonna put it all over. Take my little septum ring out. Oh, I got too much. That's okay. It's better to get a little at a time and layer it. It comes out a lot better that way too. I didn't realize how much I was putting on the brush. My throat just made a weird noise and you could probably hear it. I also get my eyelids, because sometimes I don't use a primer. I just put it right on top of the foundation that's there. Make sure to blend it to my neck. And of course, the eyeshadow colors I picked today, they're gonna be kind of messy, so I'm gonna be very careful and make sure to tap off any excess that I have. I keep getting a little hair stuck there. There we go. And I'm gonna do lipstick later, so I don't need to worry about cleaning off my lips. Like that. And then, of course, I didn't get it out. I'm gonna use the NYX matte setting spray. Usually when I just use the Smashbox foundation, I use the dewy finish, but I found that the Wet n Wild kind of, oh, it is dewy finish, but yeah, it kind of like, if you do the dewy finish foundation with the spray, it's a little too dewy, so a little bit of the matte one. It doesn't taste good. Don't get it in your mouth. Next, so for eyes, I use the Urban Decay primer. Just a little bit. I'm going to do it right up to my brows and out a little bit further than that. And a little bit further. And you could do this with whatever brush. I'm just using the Kat Von D concealer brush. Just because I like the shape of it and it's really thick. I feel a sneeze coming on. Always sneeze when I'm doing my makeup. And the first color I'm gonna use is out of this palette. It's one of my favorites. I am going to use Crucifix. A little bit. It's pretty dark, pretty pigmented. I'm trying not having really bad allergies. I'm gonna use a brush like this. It's kind of messy. Actually, that brush is kind of big. I'm gonna use a smaller one instead. So I'm just gonna get some pigment on there, tap it off. And I'm gonna go in the outside crease. And again, my eyes are really bad, and without my glasses I can't really tell what I'm doing. Gotta make sure I'm in the camera. I'm gonna blend it as much as I can with the brush that has the pigment on it. And then I am gonna go in with a different blending brush. It's one of the ones that I don't use for pigment, I just use it for blending. It looks kind of sparkly right now. I'll go back in with that one, because it doesn't have pigment on it, so it's just blending it. And then I'll kind of go back and forth with the other brush too. Like that. A little bit more. And then I am going to use the Modern Renaissance palette, another one of my favorites, and I'm going to use Love Letter, I think. Yep. And I'm going to go in with a little bit bigger brush. The brush that came with this palette is actually really nice. So just on the sides. I'm gonna try to leave as much of the middle open as I can, because I'm gonna put another pigment in the middle. But I still want to get it blending into the brown on the top of the middle. Wow, my throat keeps making noises. That's not fun. Super loud. So I got that going. I think I'm gonna do like one more little layer of this color. And if you get fallout as you go, I just use a big fluffy brush to just kind of flick it away. That's also why I set my face with the setting spray after doing foundation, so I could just flick away the excess. And then for the middle, I am gonna take a little bit of concealer, my lighter concealer, and just going real quick with it. Just a little dot. I kind of put too much, but just a little dot. You can put as much or as little as you want, like for the space. I'm gonna do about that big. But yeah, you can kind of make it whatever shape you want. So I have mine kind of like that, kind of like a half circle. And then I'm gonna go in with, haven't decided that far. I always decide my looks like as I'm doing them. I think I'm gonna go in with this nice little gold there. I'm gonna go in with another different brush. Like that. And then I'm gonna go in again with the brush that I had my pink on. Oh, wrong one. The pink again. Just go in a little bit more, just to kind of blend it and kind of clean it up. I have it so it kind of blends into the gold. Do a little bit more. I really like this color. It's one of my favorites to use out of this palette. Kind of wish I used a lighter brown for the outside, but that's okay. I am just gonna go back in a little bit to the brown. Okay, then I'm gonna do the under eye. So for that, you can do concealer, you don't have to. I don't wear concealer a ton. And I'm just gonna take that brown color again and get right on my lash line. So very lightly on my lash line, I'm gonna get a little bit more of it. And you could either leave it the brown, or you could just do the pink, or you could go in with the pink after, like I'm about to do. And I like getting pretty far down with my lash line, like with my bottom shadow, I mean. There's fallout, so you can just take a fluffy brush, lightly flick it away. So I'm gonna blend a little bit more of that pink in there. Kind of blend it right up into the other like little point there. Like that. Do a tiny bit more. There's one eye. And then for highlight, I was gonna do a pink one, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna use my favorite Tarte one in Stunner. And I'm just gonna touch like underneath where my brow is. Like that. And I'm gonna go back in with my brown brush, blend it in. That way the brown doesn't get lost. And then I'm gonna put a touch in my inner corner, just as kind of like a little seam to get the two, like the underneath and the top eyeshadow to blend together. Just because I don't want like pink in my like inner corners. So there is one, and then I'm gonna do my brow. Then I'm gonna go back through and do the other side. I'm gonna use my usual dip brow in Granite. And instead of an angle brush, I have been using a liner brush to kind of get more of a sharper end because I need to wash my angle brush. Get these out of the way. Okay. Because with this one I could kind of bend it into whatever shape I want it to go in. Normally I'd brush the hairs in what direction I want them, but I don't really have a lot for that at the moment. And I usually do the bottom line first, or I want them to end. Did a little lower than I wanted, but it's okay. And then I do the top. Just like that. And then for the front, I'm just kind of gonna flick it and drag it to draw kind of individual hairs there. Like that. So there's one eye. I'm gonna do the other and then do my contour and highlight. But I think I want to add eyeliner to this. I haven't really decided yet. Let's do it up. I use the NYX vinyl liner. I like the matte one as well. I like both of them. So I do my lash line first, and then angle where I want the wing to go. And then from that end, and you can make it go all the way to your hairline. If you close your eye a little bit and you get a little bit on your shadow, just take the brush of the color shadow you have and kind of go back and over it. It kind of erases it. I'll let that dry. And then I'm gonna do the inner corner of it and a tiny bit on the bottom. Usually I do thick on the top and bottom, but I think for this look I'm feeling thinner on the bottom. Oh, I accidentally made a dot, but I'm just gonna leave it because if I try to get rid of it, it'll just smear it. Do the little inner corner wing. Little thin liner underneath. And then that mascara. I use the Princess Lash Sculpted Volume from Essence. And I don't want to do the bottom yet because I'm afraid of smearing it. So I'm going to do the other side of my face and then do lashes and lipstick. Okay, so bottom liner. Kind of roll it in. Wow, bottom liner, bottom mascara. I mess up a lot when I'm talking on video. I'm still not used to it. So that's that. And then for lashes, my favorite are the Eyelure ones, anyone by Eyelure. Let's see, where's my lash glue? And my favorite lash glue, clear one. I always got fuzzies all over everything. There we go. And while we're letting that dry, we'll do lipstick. I haven't really decided on that yet either. I think I want to do like this dark enough red. Yeah. I'm gonna line my lips in black. So I'm gonna go black eyeliner going. Almost threw it at the lashes. Oh, let me do contour. Almost forgot. So for contour, I think I'm gonna take that same brown that I used up here. That way the whole look kind of goes. And it is very dark and pigmented, so I'm gonna get a lot of that off. Gonna get a mirror. Gonna go in light. And blend it a lot. So, oh, I didn't put my septum back in. Also, make sure to go back over any of your body jewelry with rubbing alcohol to get any makeup off. I don't love this shade for contour, but it kind of ties the whole look together because it's the same I used in my eyes. If you get it too dark, that's okay. You can have extravagant contour. I never contour anymore because of having to wear a mask, so I'm glad I can go all out when I'm home. Nice and dark. And then I am going to take this same highlight again, do a tiny bit. So just little touches of it. And also my upper lip. And then for nose, I want to get the very highest point. So I'm gonna pinch my brush like this because I lost my teeny tiny fan brush. And I'm just gonna go in and highlight kind of a line on the highest point of my nose. For me, I feel like my nose is wide, so that's why I do that, to kind of bring it in. That reminds me, I forgot to contour it, but I don't think I want to use that really dark brown on it. Find my nose contouring brush. Always use a really small brush to contour your nose. That way you don't get it out of control. That has purple on it. I'm not going to use that. Here it is. So I think I am going to use that dark brown again, but I'm going to go really, really light on it. So that side came out a little darker, but that's okay. We can just go back in with a fluffier brush, kind of blend it a little. There we go. I usually contour it first, then highlight it. But, so lining your lips, I'm gonna do it with black because I kind of want the outside to be a little bit darker. For this look I'm going for. That doesn't need to be perfect because the lipstick's going to cover most of it. Well, I'm going to cover most of it with the lipstick. And this one is Fire Dancer NYX Slip Tease. So it goes right over that dark lip line. You can still see it through a tiny bit. Like that. I'm not wearing this look out anywhere, or else I'd spray my whole face to set it again now that everything's on there, but I'm not, so this glue should dry a little tiny bit longer, but it's fine. I like to bend them a little bit so that they curve. I keep hiccuping, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna lightly set it where I want it. Is this the right eye? It's the right eye. Lightly set it where I want it. Kind of position it where I want it. And then push it against my lid. Because if you do it lightly, you can get it where you want it before the glue actually really sticks. And it's still kind of lightly on there, that way I can have a little bit of movement with it. Kind of slide it where I want it. Push it against the back of my lid while squeezing the lashes. And sometimes I kind of push together my actual lashes to the fake ones. I'm gonna let that dry. Sometimes I'll go back over it with mascara too. Yeah, that's today's look. I will be posting it on my Instagram. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Suggestions, questions, anything.